Sharks. I'm Tammy Dio.
And I'm Abisola.
We're from Oakland, California, and we're here seeking $175,000 for 10% of our company.
As Nigerian immigrants, we value keeping strong ties with our heritage.
So it's no wonder when we were having our baby boy, we wanted to make sure he grew up enriched by his Nigerian culture as well.
And one way we do this, Sharks, is by having Afrobeat dance parties. Yeah. Come on, you guys are dance. Hey.
Hey.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Nice move.
Nice move.
Get it, Kev.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
But when we went out to look for clothing, books, and toys that would help our son take pride in his roots, the options were very limited.
That's why we created
Ade and Ayo.
We bring the joy and vibrancy of African cultures to children through products that are beautiful.
Thoughtful.
We're talking about you?
No, the products, which is important, are affordable. We're the first to bring African prints to organic cotton fabric that are soft, machine washable, and perfect for everyday play.
With distinct patterns and colors that are inspired by African textiles.
Sharks, representation matters. What kids see in their lives every day helps them to understand what the world looks like and shapes their views about the future. In front of each of you are your very own Ade and Ayo pieces. Check out for yourselves.
Have a look.
So, Mark and Damon, you each, thank you. You each have pieces from our BOGO collections.
I think it'll fit me too.
This inspired by Malayan mudcloth fabrics. And then Barbara, what you have is the Takula print, and that is inspired by a Congolese fabric called Kuba cloth.
You want to know something? As I was touching this, there's an incredible softness to it. This normal cotton feels starchy,
right?
You know, like stiff and kind of crackly
this
and
cotton
starchy.
100% cotton?
It's 100% organic cotton, actually.
It has a beautiful feel, really.
Thank you. That really was a priority for us. I wanted my son to be able to play in these clothes and to feel comfortable wearing them as part of his everyday life. So the way the fabric feel is a very important part of what we're doing here.
All right, so I love this being able to take something from your culture, your background, and bring it to the masses, and in a way that is high quality and thoughtful. I absolutely love this idea, and even as Lori was talking about, like the the other cotton being starchy and kind of stiff, having super soft clothes for the kids. Look, I love hugging our kids, and I love hugging my kids even more when they're wearing soft clothes. So it just makes it the experience so much better. So I love what they're doing here. I hope that they have the sales to back up the the 1.7 or almost $2 million valuation, whatever. Hopefully they got the sales to back that up. But very, very cool looking clothes. I love the patterns. I think it speaks to so many people who are even especially in the last 2 years, looking for black-owned businesses that are that speak to the culture, right, and bring something that is lacking here in America. So I'm all for it. Ding ding. Hopefully the numbers and everything are all in sync here. Just like everything's in sync over at shopsuperjoe.com to get your apparel, books, and courses. Go over to shopsuperjoe.com to pick all those up today. I'd appreciate you, so it helps support the channel.
We've seen so many collections for children over the years on Shark Tank, but never anything like this. Ever.
Each of the prints we hold up, also sophisticated. They
Right.
feel like designer clothing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wish I had it in my
What's the game
size.
plan for distribution on this stuff?
So we are focused on our direct-to-customer channel through our website.
And how's it going?
Over 11 months we've been running now, and our sales are really, really strong. They're showing up at 160K.
And what is the average cost to make it? And what do you sell it at?
It takes about $6 to make, $19 retail to sell.
You sell this for $19?
Accessibility is so important to us. We really want the average person to be able to purchase these
And
clothes.
that's why you're sticking to direct to consumer, because you need those margins, right? Because
So
otherwise
keep
you
our
won't.
margins healthy.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, that's really a key factor there, because if they put this in a boutique or any kind of like big box retailer, like that's probably not. I mean, it's not gonna fly. $6, they're gonna have to ship it still. and then they can't sell it for $20. So direct to consumer is definitely the way forward. 160,000 in 11 months is that's incredible, especially direct to consumer. If it's mostly off of their website, that's awesome. But that they got a long way to go to get that valuation. But the other side of that is maybe they came with the 10% at 175,000 to enable some negotiation for them to go up.
You about your background.
So I was actually an attorney before doing this, but I also understood as I began to do that job that I had to draw to something else. And I found myself tinkering ideas outside of work. And I knew at some point I was going to come across an idea that I was going to have to build out. And that's what this is, right? He has a supply chain background. He can get to that.
Thank you. So my background is I have an engineering degree and an MBA at Yale, where I met my beautiful wife.
Wow.
And then after that, I have a 15-year career where I've worked at Amazon and also at Apple for both the retail and the consumer side.
So in terms of who we actually are, right? So I was 4 years old. My family moved from Nigeria to Montreal, Canada, and my parents began from scratch. They were washing bathrooms. They were line cooks. My parents would wake me up in the wee hours of the morning, shovel me into their car, and we would go around and distribute newspapers. So they were really hustling. And they went from that to earning multiple degrees and having their own businesses. Woo. Watching that growing up just ignited in me a belief in the power of a dream and a vision and putting everything you can into making it happen.
Are you doing this full time?
We are both full time.
But you're only doing $15K a month in sales, and obviously not all of that is income. How are you guys surviving?
We're able to save some money and sort of invest our funds into the companies.
Our funds and our time.
What would you use the $175,000 for? What would you use our money? What would you hope is sharp?
Before we get there, that is such a key thing. The building the runway, right? If you have, both of them obviously have at least somewhat or presumably lucrative backgrounds. You start saving, you start stashing money away, you stop doing all the extra expenditures and things, and you stash that money away, build that runway. So, I'm willing to bet that they probably have at least a 2 to 3 year window to make this happen before they have to, maybe go start thinking about getting another job and supplanting some of the income if things didn't, go the way they're expecting it to go. But obviously both very well accomplished, very impressive, awesome background story, very inspirational for everybody, even people that are doing well. It's such a, I always find it to be so, such a powerful reminder to every day I have to keep grinding. I have to keep going forward, keep moving, keep pushing forward. I can't rest. And, and in my circumstances are vastly different from the story, from the story we just heard. But it's just so, it's just such a great reminder that everything can change in an instant, right? Everything can turn on a dime. Change is the one constant that we have in our lives. And, to put yourself and listen to those stories, put yourself in that perspective, put yourself in those shoes, have some empathy, can really help you get more motivated, stay more motivated, help motivate other people, be super, as we say here, and just have yet another reminder that I have to keep pushing forward. I can't slow down. If I had to slow down because I'm sick or what, as I was, been recovering from being sick, you really have to just get those reminders in so that you can get focused on driving forward. It's really, it's just important. It's important as an entrepreneur, as a super entrepreneur, as a person, as a driven individual, to have those reminders there for you.
Funds into the companies.
Our funds and our time.
What would you use the $175,000 for? What would you use our money? What would you hope a shark would do?
We're going to invest a lot of it into the product.
You mean inventory?
Exactly.
Yes, inventory. The other part is growing our team. We want to grow our team to be able to market, get the message out to people in creative ways.
I think we need implementers. So we have really wonderful strategies and ideas, particularly on the marketing side. And it's really a matter of we are two people, and so there are only so many hours of the day to get that work actually done.
So at this juncture in the business, do you think it was wise for both of you to give up high-paying jobs? I mean, you're all in here. If this doesn't work out, this is a bad outcome.
We're very confident.
There's no reason why this shouldn't work out.
It's a bind.
Well, it's not even just that. Right now, I mean, we're in a market that, well, at least for the time being, or the time in which this was filmed, you know, the Great Resignation, right? People quitting their jobs, going and get different jobs. Both of them are very well accomplished. They probably could walk into any job that they want to, and not have a problem. So I don't think that that's a sticking point to me.
Binary outcome. Either it works or it doesn't. If it doesn't work, you guys are screwed.
We are betting on ourselves, right?
But realize every entrepreneur bets on themselves. Right. That's the nature, right?
But why such a high valuation? I mean, right now you're asking $175,000 for 10%. If you distributed $100,000 a year and I made 10% off that, that's $10,000 a year I would have. It would take me 17 years to get my money back. Do you understand what you're asking?
The way we see the value of the company today is based on the potential for.
You said today.
Right.
Yes.
Not potential. You said today. What is the value of the company today?
We see, based on the traction we have so far, we think we can grow to that to a place
Let me make
where
a comment about that.
Well, you can make up your own. The fact
but
today
David,
is
don't you think the business is going to grow? That's why they're here.
I'm already giving them 3 to 4 times more today.
So
Let's
it's
say
from a small
500,000.
base.
I'm asking an honest question. I mean, Mark, how are you going to get your money back? I mean,
It's a good
It's a fair
question.
question. And
Well, the Shark Tank effect is one of the, is one of them, right? People like being on the show and getting a super surge of sales. Now, I mean, obviously you want more than just the one, one and done. So, which is a bit difficult to to necessarily be able to replicate. Now, I did go and check out their website and social media in the preview video, which I'll link at the end of the video, but I did see that they had a number of other products that I don't know, it's starting to paint a picture that they haven't brought any of those other products up here, and hopefully they haven't invested too much in inventory in those products, just if nothing else to keep their core competency to get that up. And then the other side of it, I was showing it to my wife, because I was like, oh, well, what sizes, do we need for the kid, would we get for the kids? And, with the highest size I found was a 5T, which is kind of a problem because my daughter's already outgrown that, and my son is already in a 4 or 5T currently and growing. So yeah, it's it's difficult. It'd be difficult for me to be able to get into it. But they do have other kids toys and things like that, which I think is cool. But we want to make sure that we're accomplishing the core competency and getting the sales there first.
But I look at it this
any
way.
acquisition is 4 times sales, 6 times, 10
Except when you're a relatively small, unique,
It's hard to put
startup.
a 1.7 million value on this
Well,
one.
I'm sure they're going to negotiate.
There's no real formula out there. We're all making it up.
exactly.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Yes.
I was going to say, clothing is not my thing. I like to dig into things I add a lot of value in, and I don't think this is one of them, so I'm out.
Again, I go back to Mr. Wonderful and the wedding line every time. Like you have, what comes after weddings? Kids. This is for kids. I think it's so undertapped.
Guys, I'm kind of in the same boat. The accelerant that you need is then the details and the operational elements of it. And that's just not my strong suit for clothing. So for those reasons, I'm out.
My feeling here is I don't agree with your vision of what to do with the money. I was listening carefully because I could have gone either way,
you're right, Lori.
but I
Yeah, I
don't
think
think
you're right.
that you should be hiring on staff at all.
Right.
And I think you can outsource the needs that you have. You can hire somebody in marketing and not have to pay a salary and not have to train and deal with all of that.
Yeah.
Instead, pay them for what they do. I wish you the best, but unfortunately, I'm out.
That is some great advice there. I'm a big believer in outsourcing what you can, especially when you're trying to, bootstrap it and keep because once you start adding employees, like there's just a whole, it just becomes, it becomes like another job because that's how we end up with HR people, right? Because they're literally ends up being another job worth of things to do to handle those other employees. And I think, there's so many services out there, outsourcing for marketing, for graphic design, for social media, that you don't even have to spend that much money to get the results that you're looking for. Yeah, I agree. Hiring staff is probably not what they were looking for. Kudos to Mark for seeing past the valuation. About 175,000 for 10% it's a tall order for where they're at right now with the sales. So if you could get, even if you get to like a 30%, it's still a lot. It's still a lot to ask.
Here's my thought on it. I love your product, but the amount that you're asking for is so much that
We're here to negotiate, right? So
I know, but what I would have to ask, I wouldn't even be happy being a partner asking for that much, because now I'm taking 50% of your dream. So for that reason, I'm out.
There's still one shark left,
yes,
Barbara.
You underestimate yourself. I don't think you realize the potential you have here. I see it, right? I have not seen baby clothing with these cool designs, the fabric. When you said they sell for under $20, I was blown away. Target should be carrying a line immediately, okay? So I think you're gonna grow like gangbusters. But I also think you're underestimating what you're gonna need to do it. Biggest danger is underestimating how successful you could be and what you're gonna need to get there. You need me, because I've done it before, right? That's why I'm gonna give you an aggressive, a greedy offer.
Okay,
Let's hear it, Barbara.
Let's hear it.
Biggest danger.
Okay, so real quick before we go any further, there, their cost on an on the item being $6. That's today, right? You start adding in those employees and things, insurance and all these extra costs are going to start adding up very quickly, and you won't be able to be able to make it even at those margins that you're making direct to consumer. And if you want to get it into Target, you got to push that down to like less than $3 on a garment, which is going to probably be tough with high quality cotton with what they're doing now.
Danger is underestimating how successful you could be and what you're going to need to get there. You need me, because I've done it before, right? That's why I'm going to give you an aggressive, a greedy offer.
Okay,
Let's hear it, Barbara.
Let's hear it.
So I'm going to give you $175,000.
40%.
I'd like to take a third of your business, but I'm going to also give you a $500,000 credit line, which you're going to really need.
Yeah.
And you're going to need it faster than you think.
Barbara, we can tell that you get it, honestly. There is so much potential here. And 33 is high for us.
It's 33 and a third.
And a third. So, yeah, that's higher than we would like to go.
And your 66 and 2/3% is worth far, far more with Barbara.
Yeah.
So rather than that number you had coming in here that you thought you couldn't go above, because everybody who stands on that carpet does the exact same thing. And the biggest winners are the ones that don't nickel and dime the
You
valuation.
never told us who owns your business. Are you 50-50?
We own it 100, yeah, 50-50.
So she becomes a third partner, equal to you.
So we're thinking, what if we could do going up a little bit on the dollar amount to 200,000, and then still having the line of credit, and then we could do at that amount we could do, is it 30? Yeah, we could do 30%.
I will take that deal, but I need 33 and a third %. I want to feel equal to you. And remember, I'm coming with a lot more than you came in here asking for.
You got more.
That is that is awesome to see Barbara willing to bend on that and give an extra $50,000. I think that at that point, their valuation is it's still high, but it's more fair. The other thing I always point this out. At the end of the day, like, these are clothes, right? It's not patented. It's not. Obviously they've taken a lot of care. They've learned a lot. They've done a lot. They've hustled their butts off, and they've saved a lot to be able to do what they're doing today. But at the end of the day, like, they could do another brand of clothes with patterns. Like, it's really on them. So if the deal were to fall through, or you know, they had to go part ways and things didn't work out. So it's clothes. You can make clothes again. Like you can do, like you can replicate this again. You can do it again. Would not be easy, but you would also imagine you'd have some more money at that point, you know, down the road if things were not to work out. I think, I think worrying about 3.3% is at the end of the day is shooting yourself in the foot.
Money, and you're quibbling over 3 1/3%.
I mean, you're going to make so much money in this business.
What are you going to do?
We accept that deal. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Come on, Barbara. Hey.
Hug me, bandit. Hug me, bandit.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
That's a great
I
deal.
love these people, and I love their clothing.
I think it's going to work.
You got a good one.
I think it's going to
It
work.
is gonna
Yeah,
work.
$20 price point. That's fantastic.
$20?
That's a high valuation.
No, it's not.
You know what the problem with valuation talk is? You focus on the wrong stuff.
Well, it's either going to work
The
or not,
only thing that
right?
counts is what can you do with it.
Yeah.
We are absolutely
100%.
living our parents' and our grandparents' dreams. They're going to be so joyful and happy for us. No, I'm so excited.
Good job.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
We did it.
Oh, that's so awesome. All right. So I would love to have one or both of you come here on the show to give an interview. It would be an absolute pleasure to host you, talk about your Shark Tank experience, talk about the business and all of that. Just drop a comment down below. Excuse man, this cough is crazy. Like a Cash saying, "Are you doing well? Last time you had some problem with your throat. Love from Germany." I hope I said your name right. Yeah, I'm doing all right, but it just keeps bouncing back and forth with whether or not I'm coughing or, you know, got it. Yeah, it's terrible. But I appreciate people reaching out in the comments and asking if I'm doing all right. I know videos have been a little slow and things have been kind of hectic and all that. But anyway, I will see you in the next video down here. Or if you want to check out their website and social media with me, click up here. Take care and go be super.